we're still going to be able to have Michelle speak. So our speaker, Michelle Ball, and Barb Kuntz got stranded on the highway too, and they closed the highway down. So they've been sitting on the highway, they finally got off and into a hotel. So, they're texting me right now. So I think it's in time. So I'll just do a quick introduction for Michelle. They're going to Zoom. It's called Zoom. So you can actually be able to see her full presentation. She's just not going to be in person form here. You'll be able to see it online.
Super skeptical and not interested, and then I saw what it did for Lincoln. So I'm going to share with you guys just a little tiny bit about the business and what it means to me from my heart. And if the business is not of interest to you, I want to be really clear. You do not need to do the business to try this product. But I need to share my heart around the business opportunity behind Juice Plus only because of how it changed my life. And maybe it isn't for you, but maybe you might know somebody that this is a good fit for. So at the time, I had a family of 6, and I did not know how I was going to afford Juice Plus for everybody, but I was also not interested in a business. So I had a few customers. After I saw what it did for Lincoln, I had people that I wanted to get started on Juice Plus anyway, people that were really near and dear. And of course, as you can guess, I saw huge improvements in their health almost immediately. So when I went to Sandy with these customers, who was the one that shared Juice Plus with me, she said to me, why don't we get you set up as a distributor and you can get a discount? And I had a lot of questions for her. I asked her, do I have to have a monthly minimum? Do I have to pay anything per month to be involved? Do you expect anything from me? All of these things that I was concerned about. And she said, no, it's $50 a year. You do not have to do anything you don't want to do. And you can just get a discount if that's all you're interested in. And at the time, that's all I wanted. So I got these customers started. They had great results. And Sandy was smart enough to tell me about a level in the company that would give me $600. And at the time I was married and we were doing well financially, and I didn't really think I needed that $600, but what I really did need was a challenge. I was a stay-at-home mom and I kind of needed something other than just being a mom. So I went about doing it. I picked up the phone and sure enough, people were like, yeah, get me started. Everyone needs more fruits and vegetables. And so I got to this level and I pretended to Sandy that I didn't even know what she was talking about because I was really scared she would want me to do the business. And I really didn't think I wanted to do anything with this. So she called me up and said, Michelle, you got your promotion, you got your $600. And I was like, oh, really? Had no idea and just kind of played dumb. And that's when she invited me to come to an event. And actually my event was in Cochrane, and I'm sad I'm not there tonight because it would have been full circle for me. That was my very first event. And I went only, and this is just between us, I went only so I could drink wine and hang out with the girls. I was tired of missing out. All the girls were going and having all these fun times at Juice Plus events, and I thought, well, I'll just go, and as long as they don't expect anything from me, what do I have to lose? So I went to this event and I saw normal people. So I don't know if you guys noticed when you walked into that room tonight, the people are vibrant and happy and glowing and caring, and everybody was hugging and genuinely happy to see each other. And that was something I didn't have in my life at the time. So that I was, wow, this is a cool community. We did have a really good time. We stayed up really late. It was like a girls' slumber party, and for the first time in a long time, I felt like I had my sparkle back, like I had a spark in me again. And the morning came really quick, and I went to the training, and the perfect person for me was on that stage, and he was a guy who promoted boxing. He would find a fighter and promote them. And I thought that was so cool. He had worked with Don King, and he did productions on ESPN and HBO, and he did Juice Plus. And something didn't compute to me. I'm like, this guy does Juice Plus? But he had a really cute story. He said, my wife started the business and I thought it was a complete joke, and I was so annoyed at her for starting it. And then she got a comma in her paycheck. So if you compute that for a minute, basically it means she was earning over $1,000 a month. And he was like, well, what is that little business that you have over there? And then he said, as she started to out-earn me, I started to call it our business. So I thought that was kind of funny. And he never gave up promoting fighters. He loves boxing promotion. That's his passion. But what this business did for him was allow him to do it as a passion, not as a way to pay the bills anymore. So he only took on the fighters he really wanted to promote. He got to go back to doing it for the love of it again. And I just so could relate to that as a teacher. I got into teaching with all these big hopes and dreams, and then it just became a way to pay the bills. I got really disillusioned because I didn't get to make the difference I thought I was going to make. And so I was really hearing him. And they were kind of sharing how much they were earning with this business. And he said, look, like all we're doing is sharing a product that we really believe in. It's fruits and vegetables. What part don't you get? People need this product. It's just a different way. It's a little bit different way of earning an income. We've been working at it for 20 years. And so I was reading between the lines, but to me it sounded like they were making about $40,000 a month. A month. And I was like, what? So I thought, well, I'll probably never make that. That was at the time. But maybe I could make $2,000 a month. So I got home and got really serious about the business, got to the next level, and was ready to go to my next training event. And you never really do know what life has in store for you. And for me, right around the corner, right before I was to go to that event, my marriage fell apart. And it was literally overnight. And it was to do with addiction issues. And it was, I guess it was a long time coming. We had tried everything. We had tried Al-Anon and AA. We had tried the most expensive rehab in the country. We had tried, medical detox and marriage counseling, and we just had hit the end of the road. And I became a single mom that day, and I was like, what am I going to do? My ex, he was very unwell, so he wasn't around for a good 4 months. And I knew I either needed to go back to teaching or figure out how to make this business work for me. So I went to that training, and this lady there was just so drawn to me. Nobody knew my story. No one knew what had happened the day before. I was just there trying to pretend like nothing was wrong and trying to decide if this was something I could do rather than go back to teaching. Because my kids, they were little. They were 2 and 4, and they needed me really badly. And they had just lost one parent, and I just couldn't stomach the idea of them losing me too. So this lady just kept being drawn to my table, and she, at one point during her talk, she looked right into my eyes and she said, one thing I've learned in my journey is that you don't ever let him take your dream. And I knew that was my sign. I knew that this was my path. And I came home and I got really serious. And it took me 12 months to get to the top level of the company. And I got, at that level, we get full medical benefits, which is hugely important as a single mom. I get a tuition reimbursement package for my children. I get a Christmas bonus every year of $1,000, which at the beginning was the only way I could afford Christmas. And at that level, I had an income that had replaced my teaching income. So it took me out of just, it took me to a place where I was surviving, where we were making it, and I was still at home. And, nobody can ever, I can't repay the company ever for that time, because during that 12 months, like my family had to go through a lot of healing, and they always say that kids blame themselves during divorce, and I will never forget the day that my little 4-year-old boy climbed up into my lap and said, Mommy, I know that Daddy left because I pushed Ava down the stairs. And I could have burst into a million pieces. But I held it together, and I told him it wasn't true. I told him that he was loved, that his dad loved him, that his mom loved him, and it wasn't his fault. And I got to be the one doing that with him, not the daycare. I got to be the one just loving on him through that moment. And that is why I chose this instead of going back to teaching, instead of being gone all day while somebody else gets to do that stuff. So those moments are, in my far past, which is a nice thing. And we really have come from a place of just surviving into a place of absolute thriving with this business. It continues to grow. I continue to have people that join my team that have all different kinds of wants and needs. And this summer, because I can do my business anywhere, I got to go on the road with my kids for 7 weeks, and I took them down to BC and through Seattle, and there's this moment that's burned in my memory, and we had rented a taxi bike, and we were riding along the seawall, and the sun was setting, and this guy was kind of a crazy driver, so we were all laughing a little bit out of fear and a little bit out of exhilaration. And as the sun was going down, we're just singing to the top of our lungs a Beatles song. And I looked over my head, and my daughter's hair is just whipping in the wind, and my son has a smile on it. You can't even, it was just about to crack his face. And I'm laughing, and I just all of a sudden started to cry because I realized this is the life that I built for my kids with a company that inspires healthy living around the world. And I get to be everywhere I want with my kids. I get to take them to hockey. I get to be at their field trips. I get to go to Europe and show them about history and culture. If I want, I can go to Australia for 3 months and build business over there and experience their culture. And I get to raise them. I get to be with them. And I can never repay the company for that opportunity. And so my business story is all about, you know, it being big and full-time, but I have people on my team that, you know, just want to earn $100 a month to cover the cost of their Juice Plus. I have people that want $500 a month to take their family on a beautiful family holiday every year. I have people that pay their mortgage, and I have people that want to do it like me full-time and reach well beyond what they ever thought possible. You know, they see that I have the goal of buying our lake home, our lakefront property this summer, and that inspires them to dream again. And I'm so proud that our company inspires people to realize their dreams. So I just want to thank you guys all for listening to my story tonight and sharing with me the passion for nutrition that I have and the passion for wellness and inspiring people to dream again. And you can do one of three things after hearing this information. You can choose to change nothing. That would be choice A, and tomorrow will be just the same as yesterday. And that's okay. I chose that for a year when Sandy was sharing with me originally. You can choose option B, which is you're excited about Juice Plus and you want to get your family on a path to wellness, and we will be so excited if you choose that option, and we will love the benefits, and we want to hear how it goes for you once you start taking your Juice Plus consistently. Or C, maybe you heard something about our mission to inspire healthy living around the world, our community, our culture, what we do with this business, and maybe that option is what's for you, and maybe instead of buying a lunch for you and a friend, you want to buy yourself a business with that $50, and you want to join us because we really do need help. Juice Plus has been around for over 20 years, and only 1% of the population knows about it. So we really do need help to share this message, and if you're at all interested in that, make sure that you hug one of us that are in the room. I usually say come hug me because it's a family. If you're going to join us, make sure that you go get a hug from somebody. And I just want to say lots of love to you guys, and I wish you guys health and happiness and vibrancy. So take care, and I'll let Jayana close it all up.